And speaking of big things, John, super heavyweight action, and I'm talking to the tune of a combined 641 pounds as the 2-0 George Pointer takes on the 6-0 Nicholas Brashear. We send it up to Jake Digman to bring out the first fighter.
The following contest is in the RFO Super Heavyweight Division, and it is brought to you by ABC Supply Company. Introducing first, making his way down the aisle into the blue corner, please welcome Nick Brashear.
Before Nick Brashear comes out, John, I'm going to point out that it's going to be difficult to keep these two guys apart. They look very similar. Nick Brashear, the Vanilla Gorilla, 35 years old, 6'4", 328 pounds. He's 6-0, and he's coming off a 19-month layoff. And he's got a background that our producer, director, Mike Moran would love. Nick Brashear, 15 years as a professional wrestler. He feels that George Pointer, his opponent, has only a 2-0 record. He's never been out of the first round, and Nick Brashear wants to keep it on the feet, drag George Pointer into deep waters.
Yeah, because George Pointer has not fought very long at all, and when he comes out, we're going to talk about him.
Nick Brashear's been to a decision. This is a 328-pound man who's got the cardio to go 9 minutes as an amateur. Although I will point out, John, the 19-month layoff, he had trouble getting a fight. A couple people dropped out. You see John Kim greasing up Nick Brashear. And the reason he's fighting as an amateur now is because of that layoff, and the commission wouldn't approve him to be a pro. So Nick Brashear, his future is in the pro ranks. The only question is he going to go in undefeated or with a loss?
Well, we're going to see tonight, because he is a bad man, and this guy, he may not look the part. You may think, oh, I'm just going to run away from this guy and go around. But, man, as big as he is, he's got the cardio.
And his opponent, making his way down the aisle into the red corner, please welcome George Pointer.
Here's George Pointer, Grizzly. He's got a large fan following as we see him being patient on his way to the cage. He feels great. He's a striker, a wrestler, and when I asked him what to expect, John, he said, expect a damn good fight.
Well, his first fight lasted, as we look at the tail of the tape, 36 versus 25 years old, 6'4" versus 6'3", both men undefeated. We've got the big boys tonight.
And look they could be brothers. Look at those faces, John.
They look exactly alike. This has the makings of fireworks.
And George Pointer both wins by first round strikes. Nick Brashear, one KO victory, but 3 by submission. So it looks as if Brashear would have the advantage if it goes to the ground.
I don't even know what to say. I'm supposed to be the color commentator, and I'm at a loss for words, because I just got a feeling this is going to be China invented fireworks, and we might all be Chinese tonight, because this is going to be fireworks. I got a feeling that this is going to be just blow to blow. Look out.
As I pointed out, John, we've got 641 pounds in the cage, and that's not counting referee Jerry Poe, and it's not counting Jake Digman. Take it away, Jake.
The following contest is in the RFO Super Heavyweight Division, and is brought to you by ABC Supply Company. Introducing first in the blue corner, he fights out of Brook Park, Ohio. He weighed in at 328 pounds. Representing John Kim's martial arts, he has an undefeated MMA record, 6 wins, 0 losses. please welcome Vanilla Gorilla Nick Brashear. His opponent in the red corner, he fights out of Akron, Ohio. He weighed in at 313 1/2 pounds, representing Apex Fight System. He has an undefeated MMA record, 2 wins, 0 losses. Please welcome Grizzly George Pointer. This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. When the action begins, your referee is Mr. Jerry Poe.
John, George Pointer weighed in at 313 1/2 pounds, and he's outweighed by 15 pounds. That's more than a weight class when you get down to the little guys. Jerry Poe brings them together. We'll try and keep them separate here. Brashear in the blue, Pointer in the black.
Let's just hope the guys that put this cage together did a good job, because if they come crashing into the fence, you and I could be in trouble.
Don't blink. Big guys throwing heavy leather. Brashear walking down. Oh, looked like a left hand may have caught George Pointer. Oh, there's a right hand from Pointer. Ooh, tie clinch and knees from Brashear. Nick Brashear has Pointer pushed up against the cage. I mean, that is a lot of mass in that cage.
And a ring-card girl, Jamie, that came out and announced that it was going to be round 1, I think she weighed as much as one of these guys' left legs.
And we've got a stoppage in the action. I believe there was a low blow, inadvertent. And that man, George Pointer, is letting us know that he was on the receiving end.
Yes. And referee Jerry Poe, he's going to give him his 5 minutes that he gets, but he's going to warn his opponent right now, let him know, hey, I know it wasn't intentional, but you got to watch it.
And Jerry Poe told Nick Brashear just that. He said, accidental, it's a warning, you got to keep it up. And now Pointer will have the choice.
He is up to 5 minutes per OAC rules.
And George Pointer looks like he's ready to go. Both fighters in neutral corners, and they bring them back into the center of the cage. Left from Brashear, trying to establish that jab.
He's done a good job. Nice leg kick.
But a good left from George Pointer. And there's a slight, big overhand right, lands on the shoulder of Brashear. And there's some body shots and a knee from Brashear. A big knee from Brashear. Oh, and Pointer's been hurt to the body. Oh, a left from George Pointer lands, and Brashear smiles.
Yes, he says, bring it on.
Oh, George Pointer throwing heavy leather.
Yes, big overhand right. Another one.
An uppercut from Brashear, and looking for those knees. Another rocks the body of George Pointer.
And the last man right now that I envy is referee Jerry Poe, because I would not want to be in there with these guys. They are big, they are strong, and they are throwing leather.
And right now, George Pointer is being leaned on by 328 pounds. Big knee, huge knees from Nicholas Brashear.
And they are going to the body, and I don't care how big you are. As a friend of mine once said, body shots are like vitamins. They may not take effect right away, but over time, they'll do their work.
Ooh, and Pointer answers with a knee of his own. Clinch heavy fight. Big knee from Pointer there, giving Brashear a taste of his own medicine.
Good exchange.
Uppercut from Brashear, and George Pointer sticks his tongue out. Both these guys asking the other to bring it. Oh, there's a right hand from Pointer. And Brashear looks to be the more tired fighter.
And he went for the Superman punch there right at the end. He missed, but both these guys, being encouraged by their corners to keep it up.
John, it was Nick Brashear who said he wanted to drag George Pointer into deeper waters, but at the end of that round, in my opinion, Brashear looked to be the more tired fighter. We're going to keep it right here, John, and let's talk about what we just saw. I'm putting you on the spot. You know I'm just going to do it. Who do you score that round for?
There's a reason I'm the color commentator, and I'm not a judge. I have no clue.
Yeah. I would give it to Nick Brashear on the strength of the knees to the body. However, the heavier strikes were landed by George Pointer.
And there's, I got a feeling we're going to see a split decision.
Well, we only have one round in the books.
And I think this is going to go 3, and my prediction is we're going to have a split decision. If you want to put me on the spot, that's what I'm going to do.
You went off the grid and went full boat. I'm not going to talk about this round. I'm going to talk about the fight and the cumulative 3 rounds, and I got to give it to you. If you get this right.
I completely avoided your question. Absolutely. You're an attorney, and I would be your worst witness.
Oh, boy. Or best witness if you were my client. Jerry Poe brings the fighters together. It's Brashear in the blue. He's the Vanilla Gorilla, and Grizzly George Pointer in the black. This is a fun fight.
Both these guys touch gloves, show great respect.
Inside leg kick from George Pointer. Outside.
If this was a bar fight, any other man would be knocked down and out. But since both these guys are this big, they each can take it.
Oh, stiff left from Brashear. George Pointer can take a punch. Kick to the body, Brashear lands another right. And the hands of Pointer drop as he throws that leg kick, and Brashear coming right over the top with the right hand.
I got a feeling this fight's going to come down to cardio. Both these guys, it's like trying to
George Pointer landing haymakers. I'm sorry, John. These guys are going for it.
But it's like you're hitting a cement block. There's both these guys are just ridiculous.
Oh boy, and Brashear landed some real solid knees to the body, and he gets the takedown. And Brashear on top of Pointer. This is going to be difficult for Pointer to get out of this position, John.
Yeah, unless they have a submission, which could very well be the possibility. But I just do not see one guy getting knocked out. These guys are they're too big and too strong.
Pointer looks exhausted on the ground. I remind you, Brashear with 2 or 3 submissions rather.
And we just got under 1 minute and 10 seconds. Wow. He's looking for a Kimura Americana, something. He's looking for some kind of arm lock.
Good knees from Brashear. That's been his most successful weapon thus far. Oh, and Pointer looking to get up. Brashear, just not enough energy, John. He had an opening, he had some space.
And that goes to the level of experience. He just might not have the cardio.
The corner of George Pointer letting their fighter, George Pointer, know that they think Brashear is getting tired, but right now Brashear is the one delivering the offense.
And Pointer's looking to, and here they come by us, so let's get the blood going.
15 seconds, Brashear back on top. Both fighters taking some deep breaths. We're going to see the 3rd round. Nick Brashear takes a couple deep breaths, heads back to his corner, and George Pointer heads back to his corner.
And both fighters, they know where they're at. They're ready for round 3.
There's the lovely Jamie, ring card girl, letting us know round 3's coming. And John, I think we'd have to give that round to Mr. Brashear, based on the wrestling.
there's no question that's a 10-9 round.
You know, if the super heavyweights, if you're able to secure a takedown, it's so difficult to get up when you have a man that size on top of you. As we take a look at the action from round number 2.
We see Pointer, he's a tough guy, but his hands are down and he's just taking leg kicks.
Guys are throwing heavy leather.
They are throwing very heavy leather, as Mike Moran just spoke into our earpieces, and he's 100% right. These guys are throwing big time.
Thus far, George Pointer's been looking for that overhand right, and almost every single time it's landed on the left shoulder of Nick Brashear.
Well, here comes, I like to say, here comes the cardio rounds. Let's see what these guys got.
3 minutes to decide this fight or less. Fighters touch gloves. Brashear in the blue, Pointer in the black. Separated at birth. And it's Brashear walking Pointer down. Oh, there's a big leg kick to the back leg of Brashear.
And both these guys look absolutely exhausted. When you've got men this size, it is what it is. These guys are absolutely exhausted.
The corner of George Pointer asking for more of those leg kicks. And it's gotten the attention of Nick Brashear. Drops his hands and Pointer able to get through. I think Brashear appears to be the more tired fighter. Oh, there's a heavy leg kick on the inside from George Pointer. There's knees from Brashear. This is where Brashear wants to fight, John.
Yeah, he wants it up against the cage. Let's grind it out. We only got 1:58 left to go.
And Pointer with the big knee up the middle. Who's expending more energy here, John?
At this point, I think both guys, they both look absolutely exhausted.
Jerry Poe signaled that was a knee to the chest. It was very close to the head. We're halfway through the third and final round. Super heavyweights at Big Guns 24.
Ryan Kavanaugh, you've called high school championships. Oh, what a big shot.
Big hand, and Brashear's on wobbly legs. There was that overhand right he's been searching for. Pointer found it. Desperation shot by Brashear. Pointer smells blood.
Yes, absolutely. All of a sudden, this fight turned. And here they come, right by us. They're throwing leather. The crowd is going nuts.
Big right hand from Pointer.
Oh.
Wow. There's Pointer with the right hand. We've got a cut over the eye of Brashear.
Brashear and Pointer, who's punching who the hardest? I'll let the judges answer that question.
Right in front of us, John.
These guys are absolutely laying leather.
Final 30 seconds. Can Pointer separate and close the show? He's got Brashear hurt. For the first time, Pointer has Brashear pushed up against the cage.
And right in front of us, we can see that his legs are just black and blue.
And the forehead of Nick Brashear is pouring blood now.
And I got to take my ice water away from me. Both these guys exhausted. Yo, big right hand.
End of the fight.
Oh, and both these guys hug. They show admiration for one another. Unbelievable fight. These super heavyweights, they put on a heck of a show.
And that should be the cover of every social media Nick Brashear has. That face right there. And he tells Jerry Poe, I am more than fine. Matt Trukovich asking the crowd to give it up.
Yeah, and he should, because both these guys, they put on a heck of a show.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
And John, 2 rounds ago, you predicted a split decision. And I thought you were crazy. Take a look at some of this action. I think you might be right, though.
Both these guys. I got to tell you, I have my little frequent local tavern Lino's Bar and Grill in Wickliffe, Ohio. If I ran into either one of those guys there, all I would say to him is, yes, sir, or no, sir.
And can I buy you a drink?
And yeah, because I don't, wow. These guys just brought it.
What a
Holy
fight.
smokes.
What a fight. It looks like the scorecards are in. We're going to send it inside to Jake Digman to find out who won the battle of the super heavyweights.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for both of these super heavyweight warriors. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards, where all 3 judges have scored this contest 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision, the Vanilla Gorilla, Nick Brashear.
Let's hear it one more time for both these warriors. Great fight, George. You all right, big fella?
Yo, I'm all right. Hold on. First of all, give it up for the Grizzly. Wow. I just told him in the cage right after the fight, he has the distinct honor of hitting me harder than anyone else that I faced. So he can hang his hat on that. He was a tough opponent. You know, I was hitting him. I tried to keep my game plan as stick and move, and it's hard to move from a guy like that.
Your guys' clinch game, for super heavyweights, the clinch game is awesome. You were trading knees to the body. The last 2 minutes of that fight was probably one of the best super heavyweight fights I've ever seen. I appreciate you for laying it out there like that. What do you got to say to everyone came out and watched you guys bang?
Well, first, that's what I try to do. I try to bring a little respect. Everyone kind of just plays off the super heavies as fat guys. And hey, you know, I can hang and bang with any of the regular heavyweights, but you know, they got rules. So I want to thank my wife for coming out, my family. Congratulations to my cousin who got married today. Some of the fighters probably saw me walking in a suit. That was why I was at her wedding. And yeah, I appreciate everybody. Thank you to my coach. Shout out to Titletown MMA in Green Bay. Shout out to JoJo's Staging. They helped me while I was working on the road, and I was able to get some workouts in.
Thank you, man. Thanks for laying it out there. Let's hear it for your winner, Nick Brashear. Great fight.